Welcome to Inspired Parenting Presents. Let's talk parenting. We have the parenting chat every Saturday. These days, we've been doing sessions on memory and grasping. Uh, Basically, this is to make sure that through memory and grasping, we score good in our exams. Nevertheless, these are only memory and grasping techniques. There's no substitute, or the best way to memorize would be understanding the subject properly. So that's the foundation. I'm assuming that, let's say, you are able to understand the subject, and now you are preparing towards the exam. And when you prepare towards the exams, these are the techniques that can be used so that your memory is good and you can perform better in your exams. Of course, I mean, we've been doing number of sessions on this, the 5 sessions we have done. Those were again, different bits and pieces like mnemonics, graphic tools, how to take care of your brain, how to identify what style suits you and everything. Finally, today we're going to talk about flashcards, which pulls together the whole method, a methodology basically of studying so that your memory is better, which will be using all the other techniques we've been talking about all along. Then this is more like a process. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, so we'll talk about flashcard. What is the technique? Then we'll understand the science behind these flashcard techniques, and we will have a look at the success factors, how to maximize the output, or or memory retention through these techniques. When we use flashcard, what are the things that we need to look at? Finally, we'll have a look at a flashcard tool, which is basically computer-based tool. But the key is to first master the technique, and tools are, just for support for better efficiency. Okay, so what is flashcard? Now, flashcard is a paper, chart paper. Any chart paper can be used. One side there will be question, other side there will be answer. You can make it of the any size which is comfortable to you. Typically, something of mobile size. These days, here our recommendation is 140 by 80 typically of the mobile size. That's what it looks like. Okay, so we make these cards. Now, when to make these cards? Recommendation is, let's say today you go to school, there's a chapter that got completed. You understand a topic or a chapter. Um, that day, a lot of things are fresh in your head. So don't do anything with that today. Make a note that you need to make cards for this particular topic or a chapter. Next day, I would recommend you make cards, okay, on these piece of paper. Yeah. So typically for a chapter, I have seen, eighth class. Our daughter is in eighth class, so when she makes, it goes anywhere from, if the chapter is small, 50 cards to 100 cards if the chapter is significantly bigger. This is science I'm talking about. So you will typically make about 100 or 50 cards. If you are in higher classes, higher studies, you may end up making maybe around 200 or 300 cards for one chapter. Okay, again, that also depends on how you're making cards. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, how to make cards. So again, like I said, chart paper, then different color for different subjects. Yep. In case, when there's an exam, you might want to sort out cards with subject wise, and then you want to study. Typically, you will study, you shuffle the all subject cards and you'll be studying them. But during exam, you might want to sort them out. And that's why I would recommend that you have separate color for separate subject. And then chapter number. Okay, on the right hand top, you want to write the chapter number just in case you want to sort them later on. But typically, I recommend when you do your studies, don't do it chapter wise, don't do it subject wise. You should just shuffle all the cards and do your studies. But later on, if you just in case if you want to sort out the cards, there's a way in which you can sort out these cards. Then how do you actually make? So one side, I said, you'll have chapter name and the question written on the one side, side one. Side two, you will write your answer. Yeah, if it's fill in the blanks, maybe just one word answer. If it's one sentence, you may want to write just one sentence. Yeah, and when you do that, I highly recommend you highlight, bold or underline or circle whichever way you want. Okay, use color pens, markers to highlight the key words of that answer. Okay. Sometimes if you want to remember, I also recommend draw a small drawing. It again helps for the memory. Or you can, while writing the answer, you can just make a graphic chart of that answer. When the answer is longer or bigger, now here's what I suggest: structure the answer. Okay, so if there's a question on, let's say, sewing. So what is sowing? Okay, when it is done, sowing is done after the preparation of the soil and before you start irrigating the field. Where it's done on the field where you want to grow the crop. Why? Because sowing is the most important step. Without sowing, you cannot get the crop. How it is done through some certain type of machines, or it is done through manually by sowing seeds, scattering seeds on the field. So this is basically, if you just follow this 4W and H guideline, you'll be able to structure your answers. This is just one suggestion. Our graphic chart section or session earlier, we talked about how you can put graphic organizers and structure your answers. So structured answers help you memorize the answers. So this is how you make the cards. Again, if you want, you can use double card for longer answer. Sometimes the answer is two paragraphs. If it's three paragraphs, you can have three-fold of these papers. The size remains same, but you can have multi-folds so that you can accommodate multiple paragraphs of that answer. Yeah, so that's the recommendation. Other thing what you can do is you can split the question itself. So depending on the answer, first paragraph, you restructure your question, rephrase your question so that you can basically write only the first paragraph in the answer side. Okay. Then there's another question for the second part of the answer. So you can split those flashcards in multiple ways. So now we've made these flashcards. Okay, what do we do with it? Right. So this is the process, or this is the method in which you will be learning, and that is the key thing. This is the thing you need to master. Which is the key for your success. Okay. What do we do? So we have these cards. So, we came home, we, understood the chapter. Next day, we made these cards. Okay. And next day, we basically take a box that contains all the day cards. Okay. So day cards are the cards you will learn every day. So now I have a stack of box where I keep all the day cards. Okay. I take out all the cards. So, I basically questions face up. So, I take them, I read the question, then I wait and try to recall the answer. Okay. Preferably saying it aloud. Even better if I can say it and write it on a piece of paper. Okay. Now, obviously, you cannot write so many answers in a single day because you have to go through number of cards. So my recommendation is at least write the keywords, okay, or spellings. There are words in an answer which needs where you need to memorize the spellings also. So at least spellings you need to write down. The advantage of that is when you write down spellings, you're not just memorizing spellings in your head, but you're memorizing spellings in your muscle memory. Okay, so when we write spellings, we are programming our hand muscles, to memorize that spelling in our hand and not just in our head. Okay, so that's the advantage. So always write spellings on a piece of paper. You take a rough paper. Just when you're answering that, write certain spellings, keywords in that rough paper. Okay. Now you try to recall the answer. Okay, and that answer is 100% correct. Okay, then or we can the criteria can be anywhere from 95 to 100. It all I will leave it to an individual, and we'll see later on how that matters, how you pass any card, how it matters. We'll see that later, but let's say the card is passed, so that card goes to week. That means now you're going to see that card again next week because you know the answer 100%, let's say, or 95%. Yeah. But you don't know it. You know it only 90% or 80%, or maybe you don't know completely. So you go and read the card. Okay. Again, yeah. But I suggest before you do that, you wait and try to remember things around it, some things around it, or part of it at least. Yeah. It's very important, and I'll tell you in a bit how the whole science works. Okay, but let's say the card passes, it goes to weak card. If the card doesn't pass, you know it. You are able to recall less than 90%. It goes to the day card. Okay, so let's just understand the process for now. Yeah, so you get some cards in week for to be studied next week, and some cards for tomorrow. Yeah, today again you will make some cards which for which the chapter was completed yesterday. Okay, so this is how you keep adding cards to the day card and keep adding cards to the week card. Now, next week, what's going to happen is that you will take card from the week stack, from a week box. Okay, you will take the card, and then you will again study in the similar manner. Yeah, Um, you will see. You'll recall if you can recall more than 100 per 95%. Okay, that card goes to the month card. If you can, if you fail, then that card goes to the day card, right? So basically, the card fails. If it fails, go to the next day. If it fails, it is promoted from the current box. Okay. So if it is passed, then it will go to the month box. Yeah. So this is how the card matures. If it fails, it goes to the day. If it passes, it goes to the next level. That means from week now it is going to the month, right? So this is how, and again, obviously, you will do the day cards also. So on Monday maybe you do week cards, and all the other days you do the day cards. Next month, what we are going to do is you are going to take the week cards. Sorry, month cards. Yeah. So that I need to correct that. So when you take month card, you will basically again do the recall, and if you can still remember after a month, that is the time you can take a decision whether you still want to do it next month or you want to do it after 2 months. So I would leave the decision to you how you want to make your cards boxes. I would say you can just leave it to 1 month. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and or maybe you can have a box of easy cards. Yeah. So anytime in your learning, if you feel that there are easy cards that you look at after 2 months or 3 months, yeah. So these are very easy cards. These are cards that you have passed even from the month box. and they will go to a box called easy box. Yeah. Or even studying, there are certain answer where which are very easy for you. So you can just mature those cards directly, put it in the easy cards. And you know that after 2 months or just before the exam, you're going to have a look at them. Okay, it is that easy. So from month, if it passes, it will go to the easy box. Okay, if it fails again from the month, yeah, I recommend you put it on in the day box. So next day you will again go to learn, and next day if you remember it again, 95%, it will go to the week. After that, it will go to the month. So don't worry about it. So just if a card fails, just keep it things simple. It will go to the next day card. Okay. So now this is the whole process. What is happening in this whole process is, let's just understand the science behind it. Number one, it is a very effective technique. Why this is effective is because you are using recall instead of reviewing. Our traditional way of learning is you read question, you look at the answer. You read question, you read answer. We start from the beginning of the chapter. We start from chapter one. We go in sequence. We are doing one subject at a time or a one chapter at a time. Yeah. With card, what happens is, number one, you are using recall. What happens when you're doing recall is, whatever you are able to recall gets stronger because you have used recall instead of reviewing. Number one. Number two, whatever you are not able to recall, the brain acknowledges that I don't remember this part of the answer. And when you read that answer, there's a special attention given, and then it is memorized better. Okay. And again, I recommend when you don't recall other part of the answer, you can do a special note around it, highlight it, or doodle around or around that particular word. Okay, so that the memory is better. Yeah. So how you enhance your card is again a key process. When you don't remember an answer, I suggest you enhance the card so that you can memorize it better. Okay, so whatever you can recall, you can memorize better. Whatever you cannot recall, you can memorize better. Okay, and that's how it is very effective. Second thing is you are shuffling the card. That is another way of making your memory better by shuffling the chapters, shuffling the topics, shuffling the subjects, and when that happens, the way you recall, it gets stronger, and there's a better memory. Um, you can have. Okay, so that's why this technique is very effective in terms of memorizing things. Second, it's a efficient technique because you are passing out cards and not paying too much of attention on the cards which you already know. So certain cards, are already 95%, 100%, you're maturing them to the next level. And because of that, you are going to save your time on going through those cards, going through those topics or subject again. Okay, because you are focusing on what you don't know instead of what you know. Okay, in traditional method, you are basically going from start to end. There are certain things you already know. What happens is half of the things you already know, and your brain tells that you already know, and because of the things what you don't know, when you come to the things what you don't know, brain has already told, "Arey, I already know," and there's a less attention given to what you don't know. And the stack of cards, the day card, are the cards you're starting your brain with by telling your brain that I don't know this, and that's why I'm studying it. So there's a special attention given. Okay, and you're not wasting your time for easy stuff. What is gone in the week? What is gone in the month? Maybe there are 50%, 60% things that you have matured, and you're not paying attention to. Okay, so the focus is on what you don't know, and that's why this is efficient technique. Okay, it's a smart method. Okay, you can have a smart approach in your exam. Let's say during exam, you already know there are cards which are in day, there are cards which are in week, and there are cards which are in month. Okay, uh, which one you should study first? Now, here's the thing: when you know that it's a tough exam and you just want to pass out, you should focus on what you know. That means I would recommend you go through the cards which are month card. Month card are the cards you already know. So focus on your strength. Okay. Then from month you go come to the week and then you come to the day. So focus on your strength when you know that it's a tough exam. Okay, and you just want to pass. If it's a easy exam and you know and you are already good at it and you actually targeting 95%, 99%, I recommend go from what you don't know. That means focus on the day card, then you go through the week card, and then if you have time, go to the month card because that's something you already know. So you can have a smart strategy during the exam. What you want to focus on, whether you want to focus on what you don't know or what you want to focus on what you know. Okay, so that's it allows you to strategize, have a smart approach towards the exam when you have already categorized your cards in different boxes. Okay, uh, so that's why this is the whole science behind how these flashcard works. Okay, now here's another piece. Why are we using this technique? Okay, the reason why we are using this technique is the way our memory functions. Yeah, when we learn a subject on day one, we we kind of know everything. Okay, as in we uh, just check on time. Yeah, so we know 100%. Let's say, okay, but by next day it is going to go down to 50%. So that's why the next day revision is required. Okay, and so when we review it, yeah, 2 days in succession. Okay, even after 1 week, there will be a memory retention. So our memory or forget curve, the red curves, if you observe here, they are the forget curve. The forget curve gets flattened when we review things after 1 day, after 1 week, after 1 month. Yeah, when we're reviewing it, okay, the forget curves gets flatter and flatter. That means for long-term retention, okay, we need to have this spaced review or a recall done to a particular topic. Yeah. Now, here's the thing that on day one, okay, that means the next day you are making the cards. Yeah. So you will have to spend more time, of course, maybe an hour or so for one subject. You'll spend making cards, right? On day two, you just have to spend maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, and your memory is stronger. Okay, on after 1 week, you may have just spent 5 minutes, and you'll be able to recall. Okay, and your memory is getting stronger and stronger. So this is how the chart shows that actually you're spending less and less time over a period of time. Okay, but the repetition is very important. Okay, and that's why the whole method is actually a very mechanical and easy method if you start following it. And then the whole mechanism is automatically taking place that it gives you this pattern where your memory is getting stronger for that subject, right? So that's the whole science behind the subject. We saw how the whole thing is effective, efficient, and smart, right? Now, there are some factors you can take care of to make sure your memory is better. Yeah, or how you can score better and better by taking care of certain things when you're using this method. Okay, number one, if you practice every day, okay, if you want to score 90%, let's say, yeah. I would recommend practice it every day. Play a background music that is not going to be distractive to you, but you can easily ignore, and you can still study, right? So that kind of music you can play, and make sure you are using recall. There's absolutely no way you can just do read question, read answer. You are just fooling yourself in terms of thinking that it's getting in your memory. There's this very small progress that happens to your memory when you just read the question and the answer. Okay, there's a significant improvement in your memory when you do recall. Okay, so use recall. If you want to score more than 90%, use recall. Next, if you want to score more than 95%, okay, here's additional thing you can do. Okay, while when you are reviewing your cards or recalling your cards, right answer. Okay, if you don't have so much time, at least keywords and the spellings, difficult spellings from that answer. Okay, so you do that. If you want to score 95%, you have to do that. Mixing of the subject, mixing of the cards. Don't go subject wise, don't go chapter wise. Just shuffle all the cards, and that way you don't have to worry too much about maintaining cards separately and all that. Just put it in the day card, one box, one set of cards, with mixed all together. You know, so mixing subject again helps. Yeah, you just feel easy. That if the cards are sorted chapter wise, cards are sorted the subject wise, and that's how it's a comfort level you have to come out of. And when you come out of comfort level, which is always better for your memory. Okay, so mix up your cards. Then uh, failure card improvement. Remember, I said that you remember certain things of the cards and certain things you don't remember of the answer. Okay, so whatever you don't remember, improve your card by doing a doodling, by doing a highlight, by doing some kind of diagram around it, or maybe make you don't have enough space for it. Just make a separate card again for that. Throw away the old card, make a separate card where you have space for doing all these things. If you do that, your memory will be better, and if you want to score more than 95%, do this very sincerely. If you want to go towards 99% and 100%, now here's the thing you can do. Remember, you start your card with question faced up. Okay, so if you think that you know the answer by reading the question, okay, you can send that card to pass to. That means instead of maturing that card to the week or month, okay, you can put that card in face down. Okay, as in you, there's a second round you have to do by reading the answer and trying to recall what is that question. Okay, so not just you can study the cards by looking at the question and try to recall the answer. Okay, you can memorize it even better if you actually do that. And in the second round, you can start with answer faced up. Okay, and try to recall the question. Yeah, so that is an additional round you can do. And when you do that, your memory will be even better. And that's the secret if you want to go beyond 99%. Right? Next is your sincerity. Okay, how sincere you are. In fact, it actually applies to to whether you're doing a recall or a review sincerely, whether you are doing it every day sincerely, whether you're writing all the spellings sincerely and making sure that you pass only by judging whether I have passed 95% or 100%. If you keep your criteria tough, that I will pass the card only I'm after it's 100% done, then you can score 100% or 99%. Okay, writing, spelling is very important. Again, sincerely write the spelling. Sincerely keep your cards improving. Okay, so basically, your sincerity towards the whole process, how tough you are able to make it for yourself to pass the criteria, that will make sure that whether you're going to score 100% or 99%. That's the factor. So the success factor of this whole method is all these things that I've told you. So you take care of all these things, and depending on that, you can score more and more. Okay, so yeah, quickly I would mention 2 minutes before I go on to take your questions. Um, there's a tool called Anki Droid, and again I'm saying tool doesn't matter. Technique matters. You master technique if you want to master first. But as you go on to the higher studies, especially medical students, they use this tool, Anki Droid, because they have so much of material to memorize. They cannot afford to do cards by hands every day. But if you are starting early, I would say after five, I would say third or fourth standard, the children should start using card method instead of traditional method. What happens is when children start using traditional method of learning from notes where there are just answer question and answers, they get used to that method. They get used to they find it easier, so they will continue using that. And traditionally we've been using that, so we all are comfortable. So going through the notes, going through the notebook, or going through the textbook, you just want to go through the question and answers. And it's simply not very effective technique, not efficient technique. So starting this kind of starting to study through this kind of method as early as possible, so that you are used to this whole technique by the time you start getting into the higher studies. Okay, so if you are in I would say higher studies where you have to make too many cards, use these tools. Okay, and in this tool, what we're going to do is next. I'm going to conduct next couple of sessions where I'll be doing workshop, uh, where I will teach you how to use this particular tool, right from installation, downloading, installation, and configuration for your personal needs, how to make cards, how to study cards. So we'll do a couple of workshops on this. It is going to be registered workshop, so you need to register beforehand for this workshop. Okay, and then the timings I'll suggest on a separate WhatsApp group. Whoever registers there, we'll have a separate communication for that. Okay, so it's all completely technical, nothing really related to learning or a subject, but the method and how to use those two. That's the workshop we are talking about. Okay, but if you want, you can go to Anki Web. You have to create an account, register yourself, download, install, start making cards. And use this tool if you like. Okay. One thing I would like to say is don't allow children who are very young, who easily get distracted by computers and mobiles. So this has a mobile and one Windows also application, and it's all synced via cloud. But if your children are susceptible for distractions, I would not allow I would recommend not to use this tool. But if your children are sincere, they use it, you can monitor them. If you can take that responsibility of monitoring how they are using the tools, I would say go for it. It's a beautiful tool, very good for memory.